I actually feel like the first stage is the hardest stage to get through because you don't get through that. It's almost like an expectation thing. You know, you expect to get through it, at least I do. And so I feel like there's more pressure on first stage than there is the second stage. Second stage is just, it's an animal. You can kind of predict things. You can't predict what's gonna happen. I mean, it obviously, you know, scores depend on the weather, on conditions a little bit. And all you can do is put yourself in the best position possible to move through it. You know, first or 20th or whatever the number is, it doesn't matter what you finish. Obviously you'd like to win it, but I mean, you're all going to the final stage, which is the ultimate goal. But the second stage, man, it's killer. You just know, you know what every shot means, every putt, every little thing means. So I guess, you know, for when you're out there playing, you know, you definitely, you're not thinking that way, but obviously at night, you know, you got to kind of find some ways to take your mind off of it. But it's, I enjoy it. There's a lot of people that probably don't enjoy it, but I feel like that's what I work towards, and you know, that's where you got to come through. And unfortunately, I mean, I didn't get through this year, so you know, that it stung. It was a long 6-hour car ride back up to St. Simons there. I would definitely agree with that. It seemed like every time I had a good round, I knocked myself down just a little bit somewhere along the ways. I missed a lot of opportunities to play on the weekend by a shot or two. You know, I'd have a good first round, poor second round, have a poor first round, a really good second round. And yeah, I think momentum had a, you know, I just never ever broke through that little bit of a barrier right there. Which, you know, it's hard to say, it's hard to think about sometimes, but I mean, that was one of the things I talked about with my buddies is, you know, I mean, I'm not making those momentum putts, or I'm not hitting that shot that's gonna, even if it's for birdie, par, bogey, whatever the shot is, for some reason, I struggled with that a little bit this year. Obviously a lot going on, moving back across the country, you know, just the whole grind of everything, and I mean, it was tough. I mean, I think that's just, you know, you have your supporting cast, obviously your family, I mean, you know, you guys included. It's amazing, I always say this to my mom, it's amazing when you succeed, how many friends you supposedly have, how many phone calls are made, how many, just everything. And it's amazing when, you know, things aren't right, I mean, I can tell you there's days that my phone doesn't ring except for the people that truly care about me, and I think that's the same in anything. You know, it always impresses me when someone can call me up at my lowest moment and know what to say. I think that's the hardest thing to do for anybody. It's hard to talk. You know, I'm hard to talk to. I think anybody, you know, because when you're so passionate about what you do and your focus is so right here, and then when you know, it's not going the way you want it to go, I mean, family is everything. I mean, you know, even just right after second stage, you know, all the phone calls. I mean, I had 5 phone calls from every one of you, and it was like, you know, get your ass up here. Let's have a Thanksgiving, and you know, it's so comforting. And then to hear, you know, my own mother sit there and say, you know, if you can't be with me for this time, I couldn't think of a better place that you could be. You know, I mean, that that just touches me beyond belief, as it should, you know, everybody. But as far as expectations go, I feel like, you know, expectations are for me. When I start getting into everybody else's expectations is when I lose a little bit of control within myself, I think. And that's a tough, I mean, that's a tough thing. I mean, that's a fine line, I feel like. But I play my best when I'm more concerned with myself and less worried about what everybody else is worried about or their expectations of me. While it's all fine and stuff, but, and I appreciate it, but I mean, nobody expects more of themselves than of myself than I do.